Hello my friend, and welcome to my channel Razib. I hope that you are well. So, in this section we are going to make JavaScript interact with the web page for the very first time. And the technical term for that is doing DOM manipulation. Now, in the last video you already selected an element from a page. And what that means is that you kind of interacted with the DOM already. So, in this video, let's learn what the DOM actually is and how it works. So, what is the DOM actually? Well, DOM stands for Document Object Model, and it is basically a structured representation of HTML document. The DOM allows us to use JavaScript to access HTML element and style in order to manipulate them. For example, we will be able to change text, to change HTML attribute, and also to change CSS style from our JavaScript. So we can say that DOM is basically a connection point between HTML document and JavaScript code. Now, the DOM is automatically created by the browser as soon as the HTML page loads. And it is stored in a tree like this one. In this tree, each HTML element is one object. And so, let's now take a look at this DOM structure in a little bit more detail. And to illustrate this here is very simple HTML document. And here is what DOM tree corresponding to this HTML look like. So, as I already mentioned, this is a tree structure which looks a bit like a family tree, right? And actually, we use the term child element, parent element, sibling element, and so on when we talk about the DOM tree and DOM manipulation. Anyway, as you can see, for each element in the HTML, there is one element node and the DOM tree. And we can access and interact with each of this node using JavaScript. Okay? So the DOM always starts with the document object right at the very top. And document is a special object that we have access to in JavaScript. And this object serves as a non-tree point into the DOM. Remember how you used document.querySelector in the last video to select an element. So that means that the querySelector method is available on the document object. Okay? And so that's why we say that document is the entry point to the DOM, because we need it to start selecting element. Good. Then the first child element of document is actually the HTML element, because that's usually the root element in all HTML document. Next, HTML usually has two child, head and body. And so, of course, you can also find them here in the DOM tree. In the HTML, they are adjacent element, and so they are sibling in our DOM as well. Then, as we keep going deeper into the nested HTML structure, we keep adding more and more children to the DOM tree. So, inside head and body, you have more child element, and the two sections and the body even have child element themselves. And from here, it goes even deeper because the first paragraph also has a child, which is this link element here. Okay? And with that, finally, we have all our HTML element in the DOM tree. But a DOM tree actually has more than just element node. It also has a node for all the text itself. Okay? Comment also and other stuff. Because basically the rule is that whatever is in the HTML document also has to be in the DOM. And so, as you see, the DOM really is complete representation of the HTML document so that we can manipulate it in complex ways. And with this, you should now have a good overview of how the DOM works and what it look like. Okay? Now, before to finish, I need to clarify something that many beginners find confusing. So many people believe that the DOM and all the method and properties that we can use to manipulate the DOM, such as document or the query selector and a lot of other stuff, are actually part of JavaScript. However, this is not the case. Okay, this is not the case. Remember that JavaScript is actually just a dialect of the ECMAScript specification, and all this DOM related stuff is simply not in there. So up until this point, we have only used the JavaScript language itself. But starting in this section, we will also use JavaScript in a browser. I mean, sure, we have used Google Chrome to run our code in the developer console, but that's not what I mean here. What I mean is to manipulate a web page that are actually displayed and rendered in the browser, just like any normal website that you know. Okay? But now you might ask, if the DOM is not a part of the JavaScript language, then how does this all work? Well, the DOM and DOM method are actually part of something called the Web API. So the Web API are like libraries that browser implement and that you can access from our JavaScript code. And API stands for Application Programming Interface. But more about that later. Okay, I will add a section about this. For now, what you need to know is that a web API are basically libraries that are also written in JavaScript and that are automatically available for us to use. So all this happens behind the scene. We don't have to import or do anything, okay? And there is actually an official DOM specification that browsers implement, which is the reason why DOM manipulation works the same in all browsers. Now, besides DOM, there are actually a ton more web API, such as timers, the fetch API, and many more. Again, we will learn a lot more about this later on. For now, let's finally start our project and some DOM manipulation in practice in the next video, inshallah. So see you in the next video to continue our project. Take care of us. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please, Faisal Azib. And follow me on Instagram, Telegram also. To visit the website for free, lot of free resources. I tell you goodbye. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.